Alright, let's get this one started. So I picked this bad boy up at a swap meet in Christchurch and came as you see it. I believe it was the old ferry-made Pizza Hut delivery vehicle, and I think the bloke I bought it off took out the engine swing arm and put in this thing. Made up some bracketry, which isn't too bad. I'm probably going to reuse it for another project. Put this badass exhaust on. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty rough and ready. Doesn't pivot as it should. Something's jammed up in there. The release mechanism is completely disconnected, so, but that comes later. I popped off this fuel line here and just let it drain into a wee cup, and this is what we got. So yeah, I'm just going to put a bit of fuel in that carb, give it a start. Pretty sure it'll run because the guy started it when I bought it. Yeah, she's nasty. But man, this thing's got some pretty cool features, like this little, I don't know what you call it. Just push that and it cycles through the different lights. So P, I'm guessing, is like your parking light or just your basic running light. And then that's your beams. And then that's off. All I'm doing is just pushing that. Comes with a wee thermometer, compass and a clock, none of which are working, but we can fix that. And yeah, I just think it's really unique and cool. So I think the first thing I'm going to do, have some fun. Let's start it. Got this here ready to go to jack it up and make the wheels go round and round, because that's what it's all about. Alright, I'll cut to that. I changed my mind. First things first, I'm going to just pop the bowl off, because I saw so much junk in that fuel line. I just want to get rid of any junk that might be in that bowl. So I'll pop that off, maybe give it a blast with some brake clean, and I'll check the oil, which is down there somewhere. I'm barely going to run it. I just literally want to see the wheels go wee wee, and then shut it off and then start ripping into it. But yeah, I'll just check the level. Man, I love this little wearer tool. It's just so tiny, it gets into absolutely every nook and cranny possible. It is fiddly, but it just works, you know. Got the screws out, and now I thought I was being cool with my little tool. I don't know. Maybe I'll just blast some brake clean into there. No, because then shit's gonna catch fire. Stuff it. It's got fuel in it. I'll put my wee fuel line to it with some premix in it. That's all I got. Just to make sure the level's correct, and send it. Okay, I've just jumped some leads from my motorbike over there, and to the starter I've got my fuel line hooked up, and I'll have choke on, which is that position, and this will be the setup. So got my premix in here, So we'll switch that on. Safely secured. Okay, so yep, the bubbles stopped and started going back up, which is good. So that means that our float bowler is working and it's not pissing out the bottom. So I've got it jacked up too. So let's give it a run. Alright, let's give it a go. Hopefully she spins. Seems safe. Now I've just thought about this, I've got no kill switch. So that's the key there. Oh, no worky. Okay, guess we'll pull the plug. So let's have a look at this. Trying to skip. That's so funny. I mean, we got where we wanted, the wheels go round and round. It's actually running not too bad. I like it. Kill switch. That's so funny. That's got, yeah, a bit too much play there. Oh well. Easy fix. Alright, I think we can probably move on to the next step. The next step being is, I guess, telling you the plan. So because this is not correct, I could make it work, but it's not correct. Therefore, I got this. And hiding behind this completely unrelated wheel is an original Honda Gyro engine. 2-stroke, 50cc. I'll clarify, engine swing arm. This is the swing arm for these bikes. It's seen better days, but I personally would much rather run an original in it because it's such a unique thing. I just think that'd be cooler. And that piece there is probably going to get yeeted and something a bit better put in place. But one step at a time. We've had some fun, got the wheels going wee woo wee, and yeah, now I think I'll probably just clean this up a bit because it's a bit yuck. Onto it. Nice. Sounds like it's got some compression. Gosh, she's nasty. I'll give it a bit of a clean up. I'm just going to remove a couple of components like the carburetor. I'll blank it off before I wash it, and I'm probably going to drop the or separate the engine from the swing arm. Most of the gunk's actually in between the two, probably because it's just been doused in oil. So I'll yeah, start with the carburetor. Not too bad. And that's it. Oh, yeah. Oh, keep that is there. Okay. Cool, little wet insulator. Okay, so that goes all the way to the bottom, so I'll just take off here. Everything's going to get cleaned up, so it's good that wasn't stuck. Cute. Considering the carbs I've been working on lately, this is like the most cutest wee baby thing. Oh no, I've lost my insulator. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's the cutest little wee carburetor ever. I'm guessing that's an electronic choke. Don't want to get that wet, so that's why I'm taking that off. Look how filthy that is. I reckon it'll clean up real good though. Because it's been doused in oil, it's not all like, hard to explain it, but it's not all like baked on junk, but it's just soggy with dirt. So yeah, I'll clean up that really well. Like I said, I'll take the engine off of the swing arm. That looks like yeah, so that's for the 2-stroke oil. So I'm just going to delete that. I'm going to run a premix. Can't be bothered dealing with that. Get rid of all the complicated junk that could fail. Mucho bettero. Right. I've literally just spent ages tidying up this area, getting it ready to go, and I decided to pull this apart here. What an idiot. Oh, committed now. I also want to clarify, I don't know what I'm doing. It's the first 2-stroke I've worked on. I've had a dirt bike before, but I've never done this. And part of the reason I'm taking it apart a bit is to get an understanding of what everything is. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at. Just trying to learn how it all functions so that I can get it running and I guess restoring it, something like that. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify, I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I understand the basic concepts of a 2-stroke. There's some geary things in here that spins around and makes noise, and yeah, just looking at it now. Kickstart, is that a wee electric start as well? That'd be badass. That means it's a hybrid, right? Is how that works? Yeah, call it a hybrid. For example, this cable, when it's that way, this can pivot. When it's pulled that way, there's a mechanism in here that catches a wire as well. So when it's pulled that way, it locks this pivot, but in addition, it pulls on this here, this here, and actually it's like a parking brake. So that can turn now, but when I push that across, it locks into the gears and it can't turn, so it's like a wee parking brake. How cool is that? That's what I mean. This thing has got some really cool features. I don't know. Maybe heaps of wee scooters have things like that, but I've not seen it. I'm loving this thing. It's so cool. Hopefully I can figure it all out. That's as far as I'm going to go with that for now. I'm going to take it to my workshop, because they got some proper industrial degreaser and steam cleaners and things like that. If I try to do it here with my water blaster and I don't know, some spray and wipe, it ain't gonna be fun, so I'll do it with the proper gear, just to make it easier on myself. It's starting to seem a bit, starting to become a bit simpler for me now. Like I said, taking a few bits, traced a few wires and cables and things, and these have a lot of the, in terms of your control cables, 1 to 2. So one actuated cable to 2 actuated cables to control, two things at once. For example, and again, this might be common, but it's the first time I've seen it. So 2 examples is the rear brakes. So these have wee brake drums in them. There's this. There's a single cable that comes to this to pull 2 to actuate both drums at the same time. In addition, the carburetor, you've got your wee slide there, and also I'm guessing this is the oil pump, but I thought that was the pump. I don't know. Anyway, there's a single cable that then goes to both of those, so it'll throttle on, opening the carb, as well as actuating that, whatever that does. On that note, because I don't know what I'm doing, and there's not too much information about these online, if you do know, let me know. Chuck a comment on with as much information as you can give me. That'd be super helpful. I'm kind of going in blind, which is fine. I can figure things out. I'm not too worried about that, but obviously it'd be great if people can steer me in the right direction. But in the meantime, I'm going to probably do a wee bit of a side quest and just start pulling some random things off this. I'm not sure if I'll drop the engine out yet, but I'll take the exhaust off, take out all the wiring, just to make it easy. I'll probably disconnect the chain. Yeah, just make it easier on myself, and then that'll be it for today probably. I'll go on to another side quest, which will lead to another side quest. But yeah, that's just how I operate. Stuff it. I'm already here, I might as well just get rid of this. I've ripped out the carb, which is sitting there. Just 2 2 M8 bolts on top of the head, and pulled it off. It's still connected to the throttle cable, I'm not worried about that at the moment. All the electronics for it, the CDI, there's this cable tied up underneath, so I've just clipped the cable ties, so it's all going to go with it. It's literally two bolts there. That's what holds this whole thing together, same as the original. So I'm just going to rip them out now. There's one. There's 2. So the reason it hasn't just completely fallen to bits is because I've lowered this just enough to touch off on the wheels, so should be able just to come off. Shims. I think I'll pull out the gas tank now as well. I want to have a really good look at that. That might need to be sealed. Well, it's side quest time. Before I do that, I drained the bowl and the carburetor. That's what came out of it. Bit of junk in the bottom there. But she ran, so obviously just sitting in the bottom. And that's after I set up my fuel supply to it. So yeah, that was just what's sitting in the bottom. Easy to clean, but that's for this bad boy. Like, reality of it is I just need to find a way to tension that chain a little bit better, and it's good to go for another project. I have something in mind. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. The side quest is nachos. Mrs. just got home, she wants me to make nachos, so I'm going to go make nachos. But just quickly, we'll have a look in the fuel tank. Yeah, it's not a good start. Is there a way I can turn on the torch here? No. Can't see anything. I'll get a better view another time. But yeah, I'll pull that out next. I guess clean it out. I just want to get this thing running good to start, so I'm not going to stress too much about it, but I just want to make sure the fuel that's going to be going into the new carb is clean. I will add an inline filter. Oh, what's that? That's a thing. I don't even know which way is up. That way. I'll have a look at that. Anyway, nachos time. Bye. One more question, or one more request. Again, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just making up as I go. If you know anything about these, primarily around the original engine swing arm, let me know. Just chuck a comment in. Yeah, anything's going to help. I can figure it out by myself, but yeah, it's always going to help if someone can impart some knowledge, some learnings that they've gone through themselves. So yeah, let me know.